right, everybody on your feet. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, hey! When the road gets rough, shine your light, and the going gets tough, shine your light. Just have faith, it'll be alright if you shine your light. When you're feeling blue, shine your light, Spirit's guiding you to shine your light. Just hold on, love will pull you through, so just shine your light. Shine your light, everybody, shine your light. Everything's gonna be alright if you shine your light.
Say hello to somebody around you.
When the world seems dark, shine your light. Love ignites a spark. Shine your light. Everything's gonna be alright if you shine your light. Everybody now, shine your light. Woo! Shine your light. Good morning. Good morning.
A time where nothing on the external is important at all in this moment. The only thing that's important is the very breath that is breathing you, the heart that is beating you. Just allow yourself to become fully present. Take another deep breath in and sigh on the exhale. For those of you here for the first time, we do a call and response chant, and then we sing Om Shanti, which is becoming at one with the energy of the universe, the very thing that allows this universe to continue in motion, the cosmos. It's aligning with that energy and that source. After that, one of our practitioners will come out and do her prayer. We'll go into the silence, and then we'll send our love over the mountains. So one more deep breath in and exhale. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your love will light my way. Show me the way. Sing after me, please. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your love will light my way. My way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your truth will light my way. My way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your joy will light my way. My way. And your love will light my way. My way. And your truth will light my way. My way. And your joy will light my way. My way. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om.
This I know, there is one source back of all creation. Everything is God. I know that I am eternally connected to this one source of all life. Spirit's life is my life. I now stay in the presence of this moment, knowing that everything is unfolding according to law. I know that there is a presence and a perfect law that is always working towards my happy life and my good experience in everything that I do. I relax in knowing that God is in me, for me, and working through me in every moment. I know that my life now is a reflection of everything that has been in my thoughts. My thoughts are creating my experience. I now purposefully and definitely stay in spirit. I know that I am always expressing. I know that God is always through me, showing me everything that I need to know. All of my thoughts stay in this moment, in this perfect perfection. I relax and I walk through life knowing that I have unconditional love, perfect freedom, and the choice to live the life that I choose. My choices define my life. I know that I have everything that I need within me, waiting to be revealed. All of God's perfection, all of God's attributes are in me. I am the creative force in my life. I choose to live a happy life. I choose to release all thoughts that no longer serve me. I put away fear and doubt and know and trust in the perfect power of God. I am so grateful for all of the people that are here today, knowing that you are divinely guided to be present. I am so grateful for Reverend Joe and all the teachings that he is now bringing forth for us, all the thoughts that are now going to shift our thoughts to a different point of view. Our attitude creates our life. Everything that occurs, every condition that appears is a result of our thoughts. I'm so grateful for the musicians and all the beautiful music that they supply for us, and all the people that work behind the scenes to make this all possible today. I release my word to the law of mind, knowing that it is already done. I let go and I let God. If my words resonate with you, please join me in saying, and so it is. Amen.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my serenity. As within, all around, all I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love, and I have no fear. All the power, all the glory Loving Spirit dwells in me now and evermore. Take a deep breath in. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, sending out joy. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me, sending out peace. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. Singing out love, sing it out. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, and it returns to me, and it returns to me. So, I don't know what happened during that meditation, but there was a lot of Kleenex going on everywhere. In fact, I walked back to my office because I had to pick up a note that I left there, and my text messages were going off, and people were like, I'm watching you on the live stream bawling. I'm like, oh my God. All right, so it's all good. Everybody needs to do that every once in a while, right? All right, so value-based spiritual living is the theme for 2017. Our monthly theme is this, and it's really long, and I think I'm going to make it a lot shorter next month. As we learn and practice our philosophy, the science of mind, we live principle-centered, spirit-led lives, and turn to our principles for guidance in all moments and in all areas of our life. So today's theme is the way it works. Remember last week was the thing itself? Now today we're going to call it it. I thought thing was tough. Now we're going to call it it. But I've been thinking about this. When we talk about the thing itself, and that we refer to God, or spirit, whatever you want to call it, and then this week we talked about how it works, I kept thinking, when I was trying to put this together in my mind, when I was a first student and listening to these words, how would I explain that to someone? And so I came up with this analogy that you don't get to put the warmth and the icing on the cake, if you will, until you actually bake the cake with the raw ingredients, right? So I think what we do in January this year is we're teaching what the raw ingredients are of the science of mind. We're going through and reviewing for those people who've been here before, and also laying it out for people who've been coming here for a while and just need a little deeper explanation. I think we have to understand the basics and the foundation of what we're talking about. And in this context, then we add all the warmth and the color and the experience. Does that make sense? So bear with me, all right? So today's affirmation is really simple. I am the way it works. Say that for me, please. I am the way it works. You realize that you are the way it works. You are the way God works. God can't work any other way but through means of you and through means of me and through everything and everybody out there. So we are the way it works. It works through us. Now, we're going to find out how it works and works through us, but at least we have to know this. Our part in this is that I am the way it works. I am the reflection of it. Say that for me again, please. I am the way it works. All right. Shine your light. What is that? Shine your light. Shine your light. William, wake up on the soundboard and just shine. There we go. All right. See, William woke up at the soundboard. Is that the first slide, really? No. You jumped like 10 slides in. Dude, you got to get it up there, man. We got to get this together. Okay. Is that the first slide? Okay, thank you, William. Yeah, did you hear that? Little anger coming from the soundboard back there. Hey-yo! All right. The entire problem of limitation, evil, suffering, and uncertainty is not God ordained, but a result of ignorance. Ooh. These are coming right from the textbook. This is not original. All right? This comes right from the Science of Mind textbook written by Dr. Ernest Holmes. I think it's important. I love this. The entire problem, limitation, evil, suffering, and uncertainty is not God ordained, but is the result of ignorance. Ignorance, meaning ignoring it, ignoring the law, ignoring God. All right? A good way to talk about people in Ernest Holmes will talk about people being ignorant, and it's like, oh my God, that just feels like another word that bothers me. But if you put it in context, it's people who are ignoring it. All right? But it's the result of ignoring our divinity. Our teaching is not a special revelation of any individual. It's the culmination of all revelations, which means it's also open at the top. So, as things have progressed, it wasn't just Dr. Holmes and Dr. Barker and other people. Eckhart Tolle jumped into the mix. Wayne Dyer jumped into the mix. Oprah continues to jump in the mix and introduce us to all sorts of spiritual leaders. So this isn't just one person's opinion. It's the culmination, and it's also the addition to. We want to continue to add to it. What good would any kind of religion be if it just capped off when someone, died and left the planet and said, okay, this is all we're going to learn up to this point. This is all we're going to expand. So what I like about this is it's the culmination of all sorts of religions. It allows other people of all different faith traditions to come into our center. We have a lot of Jewish people here. We have a lot of unchurched people who never went to church their entire lives. We have a lot of evolving Catholics. All right? I don't like to say recovering. All right? Because you're not recovering. You're not recovering from your old religion. All right? The thing is, we're evolving from that. And when I say revolving, I want to take the things that did work, because maybe there was just one little sentence that a minister or a priest or someone said one time that you understood and you had an aha moment. By all means, don't discard that because you walk in the door. We want to make sure that you bring all of that with you. So that's what's neat about this particular philosophy, is that we're not particular to anyone, right? We're not aligned with anyone. We welcome all. And we welcome all faith traditions. And because of that, we use them in our different programs, in our what we do normally. All right. Everyone, consciously or unconsciously, is seeking a relationship with God. What does that mean when he says that? I think he boils down to even the people who are disheartened and upset and what we would call acting out in the world, even the people acting out are really trying to get back to what they believe their divine birthright is and should be. Does that make sense? So whenever we are experiencing separation, and we see it in our lives and in the lives of others outside of this room, and we see it being expressed, we have to understand that everyone really is looking to get back to what they believe. Not what you believe, not what I believe, okay? But what they believe is their relationship with their Creator. And we have to honor that, even though sometimes we don't agree with it. Does that make sense? So the way it works is that it's working with everyone, in all things, in all religions. So we have to lay that down first. And that's uncomfortable when you disagree with what they're doing, isn't it? Does anybody have a problem with that? If you do, say, yeah. Yeah, okay, I heard you. Okay, so yeah, we do. We have problems with it when it doesn't align with what we think is right or wrong. But understand that while they're doing is they're looking to get back to a relationship with what they believe to be their creator to be. The study of life and the nature of law, governed and directed by thought, always conscious that we live in a spiritual universe, that God is in, through, around, and for us. Say those last three words. And for us, okay? We are governed by spiritual laws. You've been governed by them since you were born, before you were born, right? Everything is governed by spiritual and scientific laws. We know this to be true. So if that's the case, then the study of life and the nature of nature of law, governed and directed by thought, is we're living in a spiritual universe that is always for us. God is for us. God is for me. God is for me, and God is for you, and God is for everyone. There isn't some particular group that's like, nope, God is not for you. Can you imagine? Now, some people would want to teach you. Their interpretation would be, if you don't believe the way I believe, then you will be punished by the Almighty punishing God. You know, the one with the clipboard and the big beard and the big wooden chair and your name on it on a clipboard with check marks, positives and then negative marks. And, you know, supposedly that on the day you die, you hope there's more pluses than negatives. You know, but it's random because at any moment, you know, you could die like that. And if you had one too many negatives, eternity in hell. See, that randomness doesn't exist. Our God is for us. God is for me. Say that for me, please. God is for me. I want you to think about that. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Say these words. God is for me. Okay, now I want you to take, keeping your eyes closed, I want you to take whatever it is in your life that you are struggling with, and there may be a whole list of things, but I want you to surround it in the words that God is for me. Surround each one of them as if you are just taking them and wrapping them up in paper that says, God is for me. God is for me. God is for me. The way it works is understanding that God is for me. The universe is working for me. Take a deep breath in. Open your eyes, come back in. How does that feel? Doesn't that feel good? Say it for me, please. I am the way it works. We shall find a better God when we shall have arrived at a higher standard for man. Ooh, I like that. When we raise the bar amongst ourselves, we raise our bar and we have a higher understanding of a higher power. When I raise the bar for myself, when it comes to any area of my life, whether it's an area where I lack discipline or whether it's an area that I'm lacking in, period, when I raise the bar for myself, my God gets bigger and fills it in and allows me to succeed. It conspires to create that. We will arrive at a better God when we start setting a standard that is higher for each and every one of us. Does that make sense? If God is to interpret himself to man, he must interpret himself through man. This is written by Dr. Ernest Holmes. I probably would have made it gender neutral. So if God is to interpret himself to us, if God is to interpret God through us, then it has to work through each and every one of us. No one can be separate from that. Next one. If in our ignorance of the truth we have misused the highest power we possess, when we misuse, we suffer. Is anyone here suffering? Don't raise your hand. Is there an area of your life that's suffering, that's in pain, that's hurting? If it is, there's one clear answer as to how it got there. Whether you want to think it or not, whether you want to believe it or not, and it takes a lot of time to internalize this, you probably, not probably, as an absolutist, along the way, you chose to misuse the spiritual laws that we have around us. You chose to make a decision, or you chose to do something that created this suffering. Now, a lot of you will say, well, I didn't do that. It's my husband, right? Or it's my wife, or it's my job, or it's this, or it's that. Remember, you chose all of those things. And you also chose how you reacted to those things. And you chose the words that you chose to react to those things. And you chose the reactions and the actions that you took in reacting to those things. Is this all making sense? You know, you had a part in all of this. So if there is suffering, or if there is pain, or if there is a disconnect, if there is a feeling of lack, limitation, or scarcity, understand it was not imposed upon you. It was brought about by means of you. Now, having said that, set that over here. All the fantastic things in your life, woo, there we go. Somebody give me a woo. Woo, okay, see, all the fantastic things in your life, you had your hand in too. You know, yay, there we go, see, something good on the day. So you have your hand in both. You have your hand in all of it. You can't separate one from the other. It's all the same thing, right? Spirit works for us by working through us, is us, as us. We say that this is very simple. This is really simple stuff. Spirit works by working through us. It is us, as us. Each person, each individual, whether we agree with them or not, when we have alignment with them or not, understand that they are spirit in action. Sometimes that's hard to really relate to, like when you're in traffic in Los Angeles in rush hour and the person in front of you hits your bumper and you're thinking, how is Spirit working through them? Right? It's hard to understand that, but Spirit is working through all people at all times. Together, please. I am the way it works. So it's not a question of its willingness. It's never a question of willingness, nor it's a question of its ability, meaning God's ability. It's entirely a question of our own receptivity. All right? It's never about, is God willing? It's never about, is God willing or able? It's about, am I able to conceive this idea in my mind? And if I'm able to conceive it, am I willing to do what's necessary to achieve it? It's not that God isn't saying, I'm not willing. It's saying, are you willing? If you say yes, the universe conspires to create it. Most of the time, it's that we're not willing. We say the word I can't when really, again, we should be saying what? I won't. Many times when we say I can't, what we actually need to be saying is I won't. All right? Which means it's not the question of the willingness on behalf of the universe, it's my willingness. Does that make sense? Did I say willingness? Willing. Oh, never mind. Ignorance of the law excuses no one from its effects. Say that for me, please. Ignorance of the law excuses no one from its effect. I don't think I need to expand on that. I think that's pretty clear. Just because you may ignore it doesn't mean you won't experience it. Have you ever tried to ignore something and you said it still ended up happening? You went, oh, I just tried to make that, and I thought, no, that won't ever happen to me, and you did. Ignorance of the law excuses no one from its effects. The approach should be direct and it should be specific. So, it should be direct and specific. When you're dealing with the way it works, I need to be very direct and specific. I need to be able to articulate clearly my image and vision for my life. That's number one. Number one is, I'm going to ask you the question. If you and I had lunch together and I said, I want you to clearly tell me in like 1 minute or less what your vision and your intention is for your life and what you want to experience, could you articulate it for me? Clearly, and not go, well, world peace. No. What is it that you want in your life? That ambiguity that we have doesn't allow the universe to act specifically for our good. Does that make sense? So if I'm ambiguous and the law is exact, what am I creating? More ambiguity, more confusion, a lack of clarity, an attitude of I have no idea what I want in my life. And then guess what? As soon as I say I don't have any idea what I want in my life, the universe says you won't know and you won't know abundantly. figure it out. So we're setting the intention to live a spiritually driven life. To do that, I want you to think today, this week, what is it, if I had to sit down with Dr. Joe and say, hey, look, what is it that I want in my life? What is it in the area of my relationships, my area of finances, creativity, and work, and health, and my spiritual path? What is it exactly in those 5 areas that I want to experience? Then you've got a roadmap to success. All right? We must accustom ourselves to the concept of the impersonalness of the law, the availability of the law, and the mechanical accuracy of the law. So this is when we talk about the way it works. It was always disturbing to me because it seemed very plastic. Does it appear to be plastic? Is it just me? Okay. It appeared to be very impersonal. It lacked a lot of, that warm stuff, right? You're like, it just seemed like cut to the quick. It just happens that way. And I was brought up in more of a religion that had a lot more of this. Anybody have that? I don't want to call it the woo-woo factor, but it just had a little more of this, right? So, but we do have to understand its accuracy. It has perfect hearing and perfect sight, and you cannot disguise yourself from it. There is no deflector that you can create, so it's not looking in on your thoughts. It's not looking in on your actions and your words. It's always the great receptor. And because of that, it acts with accuracy, complete mechanical accuracy. I was just telling someone, I was trying to explain mechanical accuracy in being an absolutist. And now I'm going to get myself back into a corner, but that's okay. I was sitting at a stoplight years ago, and I was in class, my very beginning Science of Mind 100 class. And I was sitting at a stoplight, and boom, I got hit, right, from behind. And I hit the car in front of me, which hit the car in front of them. Of course, I'm near LAX, and little did I know I hit a Secret Service car who hit a Secret Service car in front of them, so they all jump out with their guns thinking I'm somebody that's, So I'm sitting like, okay, and I'm just sitting there. So I go to class that night, and Dr. Richelieu, my teacher in Redondo Beach, said, and I said, okay, if this thing works with accuracy, then why did that happen to me? Because I didn't ask to get in a car accident. And he said, yes, you did. I said, no, I did not. He said, you'll figure this out. And I'm like, okay, this is where the lack of common sense in this religion starts to piss me off, okay? So I'm sitting there as a student, I did not do this, I can't believe it, okay. So then I'm contemplating, and he said, in 2 weeks we'll have that discussion. So in 2 weeks he came back, he said, when we're on the freeway, Joe, and you're on the freeway, and you're being a very conscious driver, and you're being very aware of it, and do you ever have that fear, like when you go 80 to 0, that somebody's going to hit you from behind? And I said, oh, well, yeah. He said, oh, so you have a fear of being hit from behind. I'm like, yeah. He said, and you got hit from behind. I'm like, but what about being a responsible driver? He said, no. It's one thing to be aware, it's another thing to harbor a fear around it. I know people who harbor fear about cancer, don't have a lick of it in their body, but because it's what they think about all the time, a fear of it, it manifests in their life. I know, pisses you off, doesn't it? Really angers me. It angers me because now I realize that little thing that I had, that I thought was just an innocent being a conscious driver, it actually was a real rooted fear. And then those things that we think about, we bring about. So he said, now do you understand? I'm like, no. But anyway, I did, because then when you put it in that perspective of other people who think about things that they fear, divorce and whatever, think about all the things people fear, and then they bring it into their life, and then they say, I told you so. Infamous words, I told you so, which means this, I had a pattern and a belief system around it. And that's the way it works. Next thing, if we can conceive only a little good, that's as much as we can experience. Excuse me. If you can only conceive a little bit, that's as much as you're going to experience. You will experience great things when you can conceive of great things. Together, please. I am the way it works. Oh, here we go. That as high as we shall make our mark in mind and spirit, so high shall be our outward manifestation in our material world. That's the way it works. So, pulling all this together, and just your basic Science of Mind 101 message, pulling all this together, I'm asking you and myself that as we embark upon this journey, I need to know that I am setting my sights higher personally. And as this week unfolds, we have Martin Luther King Day this week, we have an inauguration taking place this week. I want all of us to set our intentions higher for the greater good of all people and not be fear-based and driven. It's really easy to go to that space by default and by design. But again, just like the car accident, is it what I want to experience? So I have to set my intention higher for my standard, for my own life, and higher for the lives of all people as we walk into this journey together. Does that make sense? Because the way it works is with exact accuracy, with perfect hearing and perfect sight. I have to make sure that I'm not going to be part of something that drags anything down, but yet holds the higher standard for all people. All people. Not right, not left, not center, not Republican, not Democrat, not liberal, not men, woman, straight, gay, all people. So my work, our work as a spiritual community, agree or disagree with an outcome, this week is very important because the way it works is going to work us. And I'm talking about the way God works, is going to work by means of us. What will be your contribution to the way it's going to work in your world and in the world around us? So that's all. Just a wake-up call. Because it's really easy to get into this place. But if you understand the way it works, and I brought about a car accident, and people bring about cancer, and they bring about unemployment, and they bring about divorce, you can also bring in prosperity, because I have brought in prosperity in my life. I have brought in loving relationships in my life. I have brought creativity in my life. I have got health into my life. I have all those things. I've had them both, and I continue to have them both. I'm imploring you this week to understand how the way it works and hold a higher standard for yourself and all people. And so end your lesson. Thank you.